Hello, children. Come, sit close. Today we're going to start a magical journey. A journey that begins a long, long time ago, beside the sparkling, singing waters of the holy Ganga River. Once upon a time, there lived a wise and gentle king named Shantanu. He ruled his kingdom with kindness, fairness, and a warm smile that his people loved. One sunny morning, King Shantanu was walking along the beautiful Ganga River. The breeze was soft, the birds were singing cheerful songs, and the river looked like a silver ribbon dancing under the sunlight. Everything felt peaceful, almost magical. And then, guess what happened? From the glittering river stepped out Mother Ganga herself. Yes, children, the goddess of the holy river. She was glowing like moonlight. Her long hair floated like waves, and her smile was calm like the river itself. King Shantanu was so amazed that his heart felt full of joy. He fell in love with her. Ganga Ma smiled kindly. She said she would marry the king, but only if he made one promise. A very strange promise. She said, "You must never question anything I do, not even once. If you do, I will have to leave you." The king loved her so much, he agreed without hesitation. Days passed happily, and soon a baby was born to them. But something surprising happened. Every time a baby came into the world, Gangama gently lifted the little one and placed the baby on a magical lotus boat floating on the river. The lotus glowed like gold and slowly carried the baby away. King Shantanu watched silently. His heart felt heavy. He wished to hold his children, play with them, and hear their little giggles. But he remembered his promise, a promise made out of love. And now, children, here comes the magical part. Mother Ganga wasn't being unkind at all. Those 7 babies were actually the 7 vases, tiny celestial beings who had once been cursed to be born on earth. To free them from the curse, Ganga Ma was sending them back to their heavenly home through the shining lotus boats. If you listen closely, you can almost hear their happy laughter as they turned into bright, sparkling stars and flew up into the sky. That light sprinkled across the heavens like little diamonds. But after the 7th baby, something changed. When the 8th baby was born, King Shantanu could not stay silent anymore. His heart burst with love, and he finally cried, "Stop! Please don't take this child away." Gangama gently nodded. She said, "This child, this one, will live on earth. He will become strong, wise, and the greatest hero your kingdom has ever known." And that baby was Bhishma, the mighty warrior, the protector of Dharma, and one of the most noble souls in all of history. She gives the child to the king and immerse in the holy water. So children, because King Shantanu and Ganga Ma kept their promises with trust, love, and respect, a legendary hero was born who would shape the future of the world. And that brings us to today's lesson. Moral of the story: keeping promises builds trust. Keeping promises brings happiness. And sometimes, keeping promises creates miracles. Thank you for listening, children. See you next time with another wonderful story. Until then, always keep your promises, okay? Bye-bye.
Hello, my dear children. Yes, you, sitting right there in front of the screen. Today, I am going to tell you the story of the greatest promise ever made. Ready? Let's begin. One day, King Shantanu was walking beside the Ganga River. It's been years that he has missed his dear wife, Ganga. Just then, he sees the beautiful Satyavati rowing her boat across the river. King Shantanu, after so many years, fell in love again. Satyavati is the fisherman's daughter. king approached the fisherman to ask for her hand in marriage, but the fisherman said, "Only if my daughter's sons become kings." Poor Shantanu's heart broke. A big rainy cloud appeared over his head. Few days passed. Prince Devavrata saw his father sad, and he thought, "I cannot see my father like this." And he jumped on his white horse, dak, 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 and rode straight to the river. He was greeted by the fisherman and his colony, where he shared his condition for the marriage. Standing on the hill, Devavrata raised his hand to the sky and said in a voice like thunder, "I, Devavrata, take a terrible and great vow today. I will never marry. I will never have children. I will protect the throne of Hastinapur all my life." Suddenly, boom! The sky opened like a giant curtain. Gods and angels appeared, showering millions of flowers, red, yellow, pink, white, like colorful rain. The gods shouted together, "Bhishma! Bhishma!" From that day, he became known as Bhishma, the one who took the terrifying vow. Because of Bhishma's love and sacrifice, King Shantanu became happy again and married Satyavati. So, my sweet children, always remember, the biggest superpower is not flying or lifting mountains. The biggest superpower is keeping your promise. Whenever you promise mommy, daddy, or your friends something, keep it with a smile, just like Bhishma. Now say after me, "I will always keep my promise." Wonderful! I heard you. See you next time when the 100 Kauravas and 5 Pandavas are born. Till then, Jai Shri Krishna. Namaste, my dear children. Today I am going to tell you about Pandavas and Kauravas. King Shantanu had sons, and from those sons he had 3 grandsons, Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidur. His eldest grandson was Dhritarashtra, who was blind by birth. Dhritarashtra married Gandhari, a princess who chose to blindfold herself forever so that she would share her husband's blindness. Together, they were blessed with 100 sons, known as the Kauravas. The eldest among them was Duryodhana. From his grandson Pandu, who was strong and healthy, he had 5 sons, and they were known as Pandavas. Their mother's name was Kunti. Kunti was blessed by gods, and each of her sons had qualities that was comparable to gods. Let's begin. First comes the eldest brother, Yudhishthira. He is called Dharmaraj because he never tells a lie, not even in dreams. Look at his calm smile and kind eyes, a small golden crown with a peacock feather, and a gentle golden glow all around. Whenever he walks, little sparkling stars follow him. He is the Prince of Truth and Justice. Next, boom! Here comes Bhima, the strongest boy in the whole world. He can lift mountains and eat 1,000 rotis in one meal. See his huge mace shining like the sun, red clothes and super big muscles. But don't be scared, he has the biggest heart and loves protecting everyone, especially his brothers. Now meet the greatest archer ever, Arjuna. Look at his magical bow Gandiva that shines like gold and rainbow. Green gold armor, long hair in warrior style, and a tiny sparkling third eye on his forehead. Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna both love him the most. When he shoots arrows, they turn into flowers or fire, whatever he wants. And here come the youngest brothers, the handsome twins Nakula and Sahadeva. Nakula is the most beautiful boy in the world. Even gods become jealous. He wears silver blue clothes and pearls. Sahadeva is the wisest. He knows everything about animals, stars, and future. He wears silver purple and always has a cute owl on his shoulder. Together they are unbeatable. These 5 brothers are the Pandavas: Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva. They love each other more than anything. When they stand together, Even the sun shines brighter. Now meet the opposite side, Duryodhana, eldest of the 100 Kauravas. He is very strong and clever, but very, very jealous of the Pandavas. Black-red armor, spiky crown, angry red eyes, and dark clouds behind him. He always carries a heavy golden mace and wants the whole kingdom for himself. And so, children, the stage is set. The princes of the Kuru dynasty are born. They will grow together, play together, and learn together. But destiny has something else planned. Cousins who would one day face each other in the greatest war ever fought, the Kurukshetra War. From love and sacrifice, from vows and blessings, begins the great tale of the Mahabharata. Morale, sacrifice, promises, and destiny shape our lives. Bhishma's vow teaches us the value of commitment, while Kunti's faith teaches us that courage brings blessings. Remember, truth, love, and friendship, like Pandavas, always win in the end. Jealousy and anger, like Duryodhana, only bring sadness. Whose team are you on? Pandavas? Shout Jai Shri Krishna. Wonderful. See you in the next story. Welcome back, kiddos. I hope you're excited because today we're going into one of the most fun and important chapters of the Mahabharata, the education of the Pandavas and Kauravas. But first, do you remember their names? Let's check. Repeat after me. Ready? 5 Pandavas: Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul, and Sahadev. Very good. And who was the eldest of the Kauravas? Yes, Duryodhan. Smart kids. As the princes started growing older, it was time for them to begin their education. Just like you go to school, the Pandavas and Kauravas needed teachers too. Teachers who could guide them to become wise, brave, and responsible leaders. The first teacher who came to the palace was Guru Dronacharya. Guru Kripa was calm, gentle, and full of knowledge. He taught the princes about the Vedas, ancient scriptures, morals, good conduct, and how to respect elders and teachers. The boys learned discipline, prayer, and the meaning of Dharma. One day, a tall, powerful warrior sage entered Hastinapura, the great Guru Dronacharya. He carried a bow, wore simple robes, and walked with the confidence of a true master. Guru Drona looked at them and said, "Children, I will teach you the art of warfare. I will make you the finest warriors in the world." The training began the very next day. And oh boy, was it tough. But also exciting. Drona taught them. Every prince had a special talent. Yudhishthira, the calmest of all, excelled in truth, justice, and leadership. His strength was his fairness. Bhima trained with the heavy mace or gada. Every time he lifted it, thud, the ground shook. No surprise he became the strongest warrior. Arjuna. Arjuna. He loved the bow and arrow so much that he practiced day and night. He trained in sunlight, moonlight, and even during rain. He soon became Drona's favorite student. Nakul became a master swordsman. He was fast, graceful, and sharp like lightning. Sahadeva learned the art of horse riding and sword play. He was gentle, quiet, but very, very smart. Even the Kauravas trained hard. Duryodhana especially practiced the mace, always trying to become stronger than Bhima. There was competition, there were arguments, but the training pushed every prince to grow into a warrior. One day, Guru Drona decided to test who had the greatest focus. He placed a small wooden bird high on a tree. He called all the princes together. "Your task," he said, "is to aim at the bird's eye. But before shooting, I want each of you to tell me what you see." First came Yudhishthira. "Son, what do you see?" Yudhishthira replied, "I see the tree, the sky, the leaves, and the bird." Drona shook his head. Not enough focus. Step back. Next came Nakul, Sahadeva, Bhima, and even Duryodhana. Each described many things they saw around the bird. Drona sighed. Their aim will not be true, he thought. Finally, it was Arjuna's turn. Arjuna, what do you see? The Guru asked. Arjuna replied calmly, I see only the bird's eye. Drona leaned closer. Only the eye? Nothing else? Arjuna said, No, master, I see nothing else. Drona's face lit up with pride. Shoot! Arjuna released the arrow. Whoosh! And it hit the wooden bird exactly in the center of the eye. All the princes gasped in amazement. From that moment onward, everyone knew. Arjuna was the greatest archer. But children, this story is incomplete without telling you about Ekalavya. Ekalavya was a tribal boy who wanted to learn archery from Drona. But Drona refused, as he was only allowed to teach the princes. Still, Ekalavya made a statue of Drona in the forest and practiced day and night, treating the statue as his guru. His devotion was so great that he became even better than Arjuna. When Drona saw this, he was surprised but also bound by his promise to make Arjuna the best. He asked Ekalavya for Guru Dakshina, a gift from the student to his teacher. Do you know what Ekalavya gave? His own thumb. Ekalavya cut off his thumb without hesitation and offered it to Drona. He sacrificed his skill out of respect for his guru. Though it is a sad story, it teaches us the lesson of devotion, sacrifice, and respect for teachers. So children, today we learned about the amazing education of the Pandavas and Kauravas. We learned that true focus, like Arjuna, makes you the best at what you do. Respect for teachers is important because they guide us with love. Hard work and dedication always shine through. Sacrifice, like Ekalavya's, shows deep devotion. Thank you for joining today's story. See you next time, my little warriors. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. Bye-bye.
Hello, children. Today we have arrived at one of the most exciting days in the entire kingdom of Hastinapur. The day everyone has been waiting for years. The grand display of skills by the Pandavas and the Kauravas after completing their education in the Gurukul. A huge arena has been set up in front of the palace. Drums echo all around, conch shells are blowing, and crowds of people are gathered, excited and eager, because today they will finally see how far each prince has come. To start things off, here comes the moment everyone has been waiting for. The mace battle between Bhima and Duryodhana. Both warriors step into the arena, huge, powerful, fearless, their eyes locked on each other. Bang! The first strike lands, and it feels as if lightning has cracked through the sky. Dadam! The second strike shakes the ground. The crowd is stunned. The greatest warriors of the Kuru dynasty are clashing with equal strength today. Bhima attacks with full force. Duryodhana dodges swiftly and counters immediately. Their maces slice through the air. Dust rises and everyone watches, holding their breath. Suddenly, Guru Dronacharya and Bhishma stand up and command. Enough! Both are extraordinary! Stop the duel! The battle is halted, but everyone understands. These two warriors will one day fight the fiercest battle of Kurukshetra. Now it's time for archery. All the princes stand in a line, ready to test their aim. They begin shooting arrows at distant targets. Some arrows miss completely, some barely touch the mark, but only Arjuna hits the target every single time. Guru Drona proudly calls him forward. Arjuna lifts his bow. Gandiva shines brilliantly, and the moment he releases his arrow, whoosh! The arrow flies into the air, cuts through 5 wooden targets one after another, and finally pierces a small rotating disc perfectly. The crowd erupts. Arjuna, amazing! Bravo! Dronacharya smiles and says, my dearest and most devoted student and the best archer in the world. Suddenly, a radiant young warrior enters the arena. Karna, people whisper among themselves. Who is he? He looks so powerful. Look at that shining bow. Karna looks at Arjuna and declares, everything I have seen today, I alone can challenge you. Arjuna, will you fight me? The arena falls silent. Arjuna steps forward, but before he can respond, Bhishma intervenes. Stop, Karna. Prince Arjuna can only fight someone of equal rank and birth. You do not have that right yet. A shadow of humiliation crosses Karna's face. Duryodhana notices it and immediately steps forward. Duryodhana announces loudly, from today, Karna is the king of Anga. Now he has every right to fight. The crowd gasps for a moment, and then bursts into applause and cheers. Karna bows before Duryodhana. From this day onwards, my loyalty, my friendship, my life, everything belongs to you. Duryodhana smiles. At last, he has found a true rival for Arjuna. Karna shoots an arrow toward the sky, and it creates a storm-like force above. Arjuna quickly shoots his own arrow, and with a single shot, he calms the entire storm. Just then, Dronacharya declares, today's display ends here. The real battles will happen another day. The crowd slowly begins to leave, but one question remains in everyone's mind. When will Arjuna and Karna truly battle? Destiny had its own plans. Karna was no ordinary warrior. He was the son of the sun god, born to Kunti before her marriage and secretly set afloat in the river. This truth remained hidden from all. Karna only knew the pain of rejection and the comfort of Duryodhana's friendship. The Pandavas watched silently. For the first time, Arjuna felt a real challenger. Bhima clenched his teeth in anger. Yudhishthira stayed calm, but quietly sensed the storm that was coming. Karna was the eldest brother of the Pandavas. They just didn't know it. Thus, the rivalry between Arjuna and Karna grew even deeper. Moral of today's story, Bako, is that talent is not defined by birth. It grows through effort. True friendship can change destinies. Respect and recognition are sometimes more valuable than strength. A friendship born in adversity can alter history. Take care, kids. Value your friendships. Bye-bye. Welcome, kids. Good to see you back. Hope you are having fun and learning at the same time. Let's start today's story. The Kuru princes were growing older, and Hastinapur was buzzing with excitement. Every day the training grounds echoed with the sounds of arrows slicing through the air, maces crashing together, and the soft footsteps of warriors practicing their skills. Arjun shoots arrows with such speed and grace and helps the villagers at every possible opportunity. They adore him. Bhim is strong in all hearts. He is playful and gentle with everyone. Sehdev helps villagers and fishermen by building bridges to make their lives easier. And Yudhishthir, oh, Yudhishthir shone like the gentle morning sun. He was calm, wise, and spoke with a kindness that made everyone trust him. Soon, whispers began to float through the palace corridors. Yudhishthir is so fair, so honest. He will be the perfect king one day. Hastinapur will prosper under him. Duryodhan, on the other hand, after their graduation was busy in never-ending celebrations. But these whispers, meant as praise, fell like burning coals into Duryodhana's ears and heart. Every time he heard someone praise Yudhishthir, his jaw tightened. Every time someone admired Arjun, jealousy grew stronger inside him. He wanted the throne. He believed it was his birthright. And he could not bear the thought of Yudhishthir becoming king. One evening, Duryodhan rushed into the room of his uncle Shakuni, who was quietly rolling dice made of bone. "Uncle!" Duryodhana burst out. "The people, the elders, everyone says Yudhishthira will be king. I cannot allow that. Tell me what to do." Shakuni looked up with a cold smile, his eyes glittering with mischief and danger. "Oh, my dear nephew," he whispered, "sometimes a sword is too obvious. Sometimes fire is a better weapon." Duryodhana leaned closer. "Fire?" Shakuni nodded. "A fire that leaves no witnesses, no proof, no questions." Soon a plan took form, dark and shiny like hot oil. A beautiful palace was ordered to be built in the distant town of Varnavrat. It sparkled like a palace from a fairy tale. Tall pillars, shining walls, colorful decorations, and glowing halls where lantern light danced. But beneath the beauty hid a dangerous secret. Every wall, every beam, every panel was made of lacquer, a sticky, glossy substance that burns faster than dry grass. The floors were polished with ghee. The decorations were coated with oil. Even the pillars were wrapped with resin-filled bamboo. The palace was a trap just waiting to burn. Shakuni whispered to Dhritarashtra, "Send the Pandavas to enjoy a festival there. Let them relax. Trust. Feel safe." And then Duryodhan completed the sentence with a smile. "The fire will do the rest." Dhritarashtra hesitated. He loved the Pandavas in his own way. But fear, weakness, and his love for Duryodhan clouded his judgment. He agreed. The Pandavas were told, "Go enjoy the festival of Varnavrat. A beautiful palace has been made just for you." The people cheered as the Pandavas and Kunti left, throwing flowers, waving cloths, and wishing them joy. No one knew that a deadly trap had already been set. But Hastinapur still had one voice of truth, Vidur. Before the Pandavas left, he called Yudhishthira aside and spoke softly, in words that only the wise could understand. "Fire burns the strongest walls, but water always finds a way to escape. Remember this when danger surrounds you." Yudhishthira bowed. He understood perfectly. Vidur suspected a scheme. When the Pandavas reached the palace of Varnavrat, they marveled at its beauty. The shining walls, the colorful hangings, the soft golden glow of oil lamps. But Yudhishthir walked through the halls, touching the walls gently. The smell of oil, the smoothness of lacquer. He knew this was no palace of celebration. It was a palace of fire. Immediately, they began digging a secret tunnel under the palace, a long passage that would lead far into the forest. A trusted miner helped them, working at night while the brothers guarded the door. Days passed. They attended festivals, met villagers, laughed politely. But inside, they waited and watched. They knew the fire would come. They just did not know when. Then came a night filled with music and joy. A feast was arranged, tables full of food, musicians playing flutes and drums, people dancing under lanterns. The Pandavas pretended to enjoy the celebration. They smiled, they danced, they thanked everyone. But inside their hearts beat quickly. After the celebration, they quietly returned to their rooms. Outside, in the darkness, the conspirators whispered, "Now, light it now." A torch touched the lacquered wall. Instantly, the flame ran like a living creature. Fast, hungry, unstoppable. The palace of Varnavrat burst into flames. The fire climbed the walls like fiery serpents, crushed the roof, and created a cage of burning heat. People in the town screamed. They pointed at the burning palace, shouting, "The Pandavas! The Pandavas are inside!" But deep underground, Kunti and her 5 sons crawled through the tunnel, their bodies shaking with fear and smoke. The tunnel was narrow, dark, and filled with dust. Kunti's sari caught on a rock. Arjuna helped her. Bhima carried 2 of his brothers when the heat above became unbearable. Yudhishthir guided everyone forward calmly. At last, after what felt like hours, they emerged into the cool night air of the forest. They were safe, alive. Their clothes were blackened, their hair smelled of smoke, but their spirits burned brighter than the fire they escaped. At sunrise, smoke still curled into the sky. People cried, believing their beloved princes were gone. Duryodhana smiled. He thought he had won. But destiny had other plans. Far away, the Pandavas stood in the morning light of the forest, tired, injured, but alive. They had lost everything, but they had each other. Their journey of hardship had begun, but so had their journey of greatness. This was not the end of the Pandavas. This was only the beginning. Moral of the story: jealousy destroys, but courage, wisdom, and unity can defeat even the darkest plots. When your heart is honest, a path will always open, even through fire. That's all for today, kids. Today's lesson is very important. Don't let jealousy cloud your judgment. Jai Shri Krishna. Bye.